Alright guys, welcome back to Blackacre Ranch. So this is actually on a Thursday night. Got a call this morning about something you don't ever want to have to hear about. And so I got a call from our fence guy as I'm walking in and out of the sun that we had an issue with the pigs. So apparently a pack of wild dogs came and decided to terrorize the place, and he saw them when they were here, and eventually they kind of ran off. In the meantime, they've killed 2 pigs, and it looks like actually one of them that is really hurt pretty bad, has not passed away yet, but we have 2 pigs that are left. So you know, it's just one of those things, I guess, right? You know, it can happen. We put a 5-foot or 4-foot fence up. I would have thought that there would have been a mountain lion, if anything, but geez. I guess I wasn't expecting a wild hog. So, not wild hogs, wild dogs. So really right now, what we're gonna do is kind of go around and try and clean up the mess. You know, YouTube, I guess, doesn't like some of this stuff because they demonetize this channel. Personally, they haven't monetized it either, so what difference does it make? I really don't give a rat's whatever about it. So they haven't really monetized us, so I don't really care. Anyway, I'm going to show you some of the pigs, the 2 that we have left, and there's not a ton of evidence that we found, but anyway, let's just get to it. I'll go show you some stuff that we found so far. Hey little guys. You can see the ears of this one have been damaged. She seems to be okay. She was one of the larger ones. This was the big red one. And this was the other female. But we have officially lost this one. I'm not sure if this was the littlest one. It's starting to bloat. Not sure. So we're going to start picking these guys up, bringing them out, and kind of go from there. Let me show you this fence over by the tarp. So this is the section where we have our tarp, and what I noticed today is there's a lot more tracks which I think are kind of dog tracks. I'm no track expert. I think right there is a track. But the tarp right here has been shredded. And it's just been torn up. And so I think the dogs are pawing at this spot trying to get in. May not have been too successful. In the light there you can see one of the other paw prints. I think they went around trying to get in at different spots and couldn't. And eventually, it appears they just jumped the fence. There's nothing broken. You can kind of see the fence along the side over here is kind of sagged in spots. The fence guy told me this morning, he said 3 of them were dead and the dogs were here. And then he told me, hey, one of the dogs is actually dead. And it looks like they had some internal fighting. I'm going to show you that dude later on. But here's one of our little piggies. Dead right here. The other 2 are out over underneath the shade canopy area. So we're going to show those to you. I'm going to continue walking around because I got to go help Nathan get the pigs out of here. They're not going to be light. We're on the south side of the pasture, and this is something else that we found. Oops. dog tracks in the soft dirt here. And I don't expect anybody to be able to tell what kind of dog it is, but I wear a size 12 to 13. You know, it's not a small dog. So Nathan brought some of these
nitrile gloves.
Yeah, nitrile gloves. I put those on. And still put some other gloves on, but just at least something. The pigs have been sitting here since this morning, and it was a warm one, being that it's summer. So they're starting to bloat a little bit. And some of them are starting to smell a little bit. We can smell a little, but honestly the ones that smell the worst is the dead dog. I don't know why it died. I just don't get it. Why they would turn on themselves or something like that, I don't know. But I'm going to show you pictures of them. If you guys are squeamish at all, maybe you don't watch. But as I said before, YouTube doesn't exactly pay us money to show anything, so I don't know. We'll see how this goes. You gonna grab it? Mm-hmm. Like the underarm sections on the front left arm is bitten out and really ripped out, and this other front side has got some damage.
Kind of. Thick.
Unfortunately, the pigs are here, so.
Oh, this sutter's big. Come on. Come on. See the side? Mm-hmm. Look at the back side. Look at the hindquarters. You see all the smarks?
Yeah.
And that over here. And up front. The last one is alive.
Barely.
When we were over there, we could see it. I saw it move. I think it's barely breathing, so I'm going to go get the gun and shoot it. And try and put it out of its misery. Alright, yeah, it looks like this one's still alive. Come on, Owen, let's go check it. You see her? You can see the damage right here, and then up and around the head and the ear. So, anyway, we're going to put her out of her misery and move on. Is it the dead one?
What dead one?
There's a dead one.
How big?
Pretty big. So our neighbor came over, you might have seen it. And she came spinning around with her Escalade, and then she started screaming for something, which I presumed was the dog, right? And then she comes over and asks us what's going on, if we've seen her dog, the brindle one. And I'm like, you mean the one that's inside here and killed my pigs? So our neighbor's dogs came here. Now she says that her dog is not able to jump a fence, can't even get into a car. I don't know, man. I mean, then she's got to justify to me how her dog is in my pen and dead, because there's no other way. If you look at this fence, this is where I think they jumped in. This is collapsed here, and I think they came in right here, struggled to get over this thing, and just squatted it. You can kind of see it also over here. This one's a little bit bent. Something's been here. So somehow, some way, the dogs got in. I don't know, so what do you do? You know, there's now been an attack from the only dog that's evidence is my neighbor's dog. There was supposedly a pack of other dogs. I don't know if her dog came over to save the day and got in somehow, jumping over, which they say can't happen. Regardless, it's in my pen. So, am I justified to tell my neighbor that I will shoot any animal that comes on my property? I don't care if it's their ferret. I will shoot their animal. You know? I mean, you can't tolerate a dog getting in here. They need to pen up their dogs. So, but tell me, what do you do? You know? It's their dog. I mean, personally, I think they should, there's no other dog that I can see. Do they foot the bill for paying me for 3 pigs? I don't know. You guys tell me. So, you know, there's things about this story that just don't line up. And so I'm going to kind of tell you briefly the story in case we didn't catch it. 5 dogs inside the enclosure. 1 dog was dead. So that was, I guess, the 6th. I had 3 pigs. 1 was dead this morning. The other 2 that were severely injured by the time we showed up, we had a 2nd dead. The 3rd one was actually alive, but you could barely tell it was breathing. It wasn't doing hardly any movements, just very slight. And so we shot it and put it out of its misery. This is kind of the story about what doesn't make sense. Their dog supposedly is pretty old and can't even jump into the back of a truck, let alone jump in a 4-foot fence. The wounds on the dog were not like the ones on the pigs. It didn't seem to be marred up a lot, stuff like that. Apparently their dog has been missing now a 2nd day. 2 days, it never came back home. It has on the front chest what looks to be a bullet wound, or just a big puncture mark right in the chest. So, I don't know. The story is, I guess, little meth heads, a little poacher people, those kinds of things. Somebody shot the dog, something, and threw it in the enclosure. Why? I don't know. Why would they shoot it? I don't know. Why would they throw it in the enclosure? I don't know. And then where'd all of a sudden these 5 dogs come from? I don't know. If you guys have any theory, by all means tell me. But this just, it seems weird why their dog, who's supposedly crippled or not active and not movable, is all of a sudden in my enclosure. So whatever, that's the story. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. That's us. Somber note, somber stuff. You know, our little piggies, we really enjoy our piggies. You know, they're cute and they're fun. Even the last 2 that are left, I'm glad they still have at least 2 that are alive. They still seemed pretty friendly, but they were sad today. You could hear them grunting and groaning and poking and nudging some of the other pigs. So it's a sad day on the ranch. Anyway, that's life. It comes at you like this, and you just got to roll with it, I guess, and make some changes. So.
Hey little pigs, what you guys up to, huh? What you guys up to? You guys just snorting around? Huh? You're just sleepy? You're just sleepy little guys?
Alright, so this is going to be a little bit more difficult than I'd like to think it is.
I wonder which one they prefer. I'm not sure if it's an obvious choice or not.
I don't know. We need to do more tests.
Yeah, more testing. I've decided that corn is like sugar, and these pigs love corn. Oh, they're coming up to find all the corn. You miss us? You just like the camera? Come here.